Well, hello, my mad scrappers. I am back with a new project. This has been sitting at my desk or right next to it for about 3 weeks now. I've been wanting to play with it and wanting to play with it. And I had other things going on, so I'm done wanting to play with it. I'm going to play with it. So this is a Quattro series, Peonies by Stamps by Me. I think I picked this up last year at a craft day sometime. I don't think it was done this year. I think it was late last year that I picked it up, but I'm in love with it. It's a Peonies, and when they made my Quattro, it's the Quattro D. It means it's 4 layers, so it has everything. It's got a 3D embossing folder. It's got the layering stencils to color it in. It's got the stamp, and it's got an outline die if you want to cut it out. On this one, my idea is I'm not planning on cutting it out, although I may do one of each because I also have in the back of my recess in my little pea brain an idea how to cut it out and what to do with it. So, excuse me, who knows what I may do. But for the moment, my intentions are not to cut it out. But I do want to make a card. So I've got here already, I've got my inks here, everything I need, my trusty, platinum right next to me. What I need to do is I'm going to cut down the panel that I'm going to ink up and stamp and emboss. And obviously a card base. I'm planning on making this a 5x7, and I want to do a background layer with this pink. So let me get all of that cutting done, and I'll be right back in a minute. All right, peeps, I'm back. I'm going to tell you something. This card is a little bit tricky, or at least I have found it tricky for being a person of my limited abilities. I am not this great hack. I want to say that, I don't know, maybe I'm just a hack that doesn't know what she's doing. That's a distinct possibility. But I've had a little bit of trouble. I'm going on take 3 of this. So I've already applied my panel onto my card. I wanted to go all the way to the edge, so we have it all ready to go. This panel, again, I cut it down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So we're going to have a little bit of an edge all the way around, more so once I emboss it. What I have found, and this is my last stab because it's the only option that I have to try, is I tried to stencil. I tried embossing it first. That didn't work. I tried stenciling it first. That didn't work either. So now what we're going to do is, I believe if I stamp my image first, it's going to give me the alignment I need to go ahead and then stencil in my image. So let's see if that works. It might be what it takes to work for my poor little pea brain. I have, all kinds of pieces of, of mint tape right over there to hold the stencil in place. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to put down my magnet to hold this in. And I don't know why I put the stamp away. It's like, it was an automatic thing. So we have the stamp here. Let me put this over here. I'm going to peel it up. Set right there, and we're just going to center it. So now we're going to let the stamp tell me where this is all going to go. So hang on, we go here, up and down. We want to be more or less so it's centered on my panel here. So there we go. Although I could. Do I want to go? I didn't even think about that. That possibility didn't open up to me until now. Do we want to make it? Do we want to make it a straight up? No, if we're going anywhere, we're going this way. Well, that's something I hadn't thought about when I was doing it before. I like that. So we're going to go with that. That is the plan. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit higher. Let me see if maybe I'll put my sentiment in there. Okay. Well, there you go. That is something happy. Okay, now before I stamp, let's do things right. And let me hit my paper with my stamp buddy. Right. For once, let's do things correctly. I always forget to do this, but I had it right in front of me so that I wouldn't forget. All right. But again, remember, I'm a no-talent hack, so it's like, what could possibly go wrong? The video ain't over yet, people, so who knows? All right. Let's just add our ink. Let's go ahead and just press that all down. I don't see where Big Daddy. Oh, here's Big Daddy. There's Big Daddy. Let's just use Big Daddy. Okay, do I see? How do I see? Oh, it looks good, but I want to have more. I want more. Yay! So we'll hit it a couple of times. And we're going to apply ink with intent. Isn't that, I think, what Tim Holtz says? Just, let's not break through the plastic, but let's make sure it's good and inked up so that this will hold all my embossing powder that I'm going to use. So there we go. Grab some up here. It's kind of like when we're making one area wet, another area dries off. Really? Or I'm just not seeing it correctly. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're going to call it good, and we're going to get moving on this before it all dries off again. So there we go. We're committed. This is where we're going. So I'm going to set this aside to clean it off. We're going to come in with my little tray here, my little tray friend. We should call him Trey. What do you guys think, Trey? I'm like, oh my gosh, I name everything. I'm a crook. All right, so now let's just put down our embossing powder. Oh, I can see it already picking up everywhere. Oh, yes. Perfect. You know, there's some areas I'm going to hit some more to make the dark deepen those lines. Make sure this is great. Okay, let me move this around before I blow all that. Hang on. Good enough. Let's grab my little brush and we'll flick off those little pieces right here. Okay. I'm hearing Nan talk. I'm sorry, I got quiet there. I heard Nan talking. I go, who's she talking? It's just her and I home right now. I think she's probably talking to one of the cats. I'm going to set this aside. I can pour it back in a minute. We are now going to grab our friend, Mr. Milwaukee. Let me start heating him up. I'm going to grab my little happy hands here. Or I can grab tweezers. Tweezers would work just as well. I just don't want to burn my fingers off. And let that preheat for a second. Ooh, I see a little spot here. Let me see if I can. There we go. I think we got it. That one we'll let slide. Okay, now let's get to embossing my paper. Okay? I think we are there. So now we have this beautifully embossed piece of paper. We'll move our hands. We'll put away Mr. Milwaukee. We're done with him now. I'll move my tweezers out of the way and let me just clear my space here. Now we are ready to start stenciling. So we have our stencils here, all 4 of them. So we're going to start with number 1. Now, the lovely thing about having done it this way is that it makes it easier to line up. Oh, it's already lining it like it's straight. I go, why isn't it lining up? And that is because I changed the direction. So we are going to twofold. I'm going to, oops, we've got some powder here. So now that's not going to pick up. Hold on. We got some embossing powder over here. So our tape isn't going to stick as long as there's embossing powder on my mat. Okay. But I want to make sure. There we go. And one right here. And now it's going to hold my paper in place. There we go. Now we line up our lovely, see, wow. That makes it easy. And I'm not even concerned. I won't even have to worry about how interesting. There we go. Let's go. Come on, people. And just line. Oh my God. And nothing ever is perfect. So we're going to come as close as we can. Now we're going to grab our mint tape and get our stencil held in place. Oops. That little piece here. I got to be careful with this because it has a couple of delicate spots here. But now there was something I was wanting to do, and now this makes it easier. Because this is actually supposed to only be 2 colors, but I want to do 3. So first things first, I'm going to come in with my Tattered Rose. And we'll just come in kind of in a circular fashion, except there's one little spot here right there. I cannot come in as a circle. That is so not going to work. I want to come in, and I'm coming in lightly because I'd rather, I mean, I can add color in, but I can't take it out. There we go. And here, I'm not sure if I'm snaggling on the stencil or on the, oh, see, I'm snagging on that spot right there, which is what I was concerned about. Because otherwise, it takes a little bit because we have some pointy edges here. So our dauber here is catching on it. Interesting. We're a little bit out of alignment here, but I don't think it's just stencil doesn't line up perfectly to this image. So let me hit where it does line up good. Let me get the color in that I want. Let's do that first. Let's take care of that. These two are lined up well. This one is also lined up well to my eyes. There we go. This one is our bit problematic child. So I can move that a little bit over. I don't know. There we go. Okay, so now I've added in, that's my base color for my peony, but I want to deepen that color a little bit more. So what I did, let me see. Now that I have the stencil on, I could probably use this dauber since it's rounded off. But I want to add, because this is only a 2 color, but I want to add some depth to that. Oops, I don't know why I did it that way. Let me move it this way, sorry. I want to add some depth. So I'm going to make this 3 colors. So I'm just going to come up and I'm going to hit. Again, I know that I can take away color, but I can add in color, but I can't take it away. So I don't want to go in. And then we have this little ornery piece here that makes everything difficult. And that's when you come in with your detailed brush. And I got these little guys at an Amazon. So it almost works out easier using my detail brush. But I come in and just add some depth. Deepen it without, let me see, and I'm gonna deepen right around here, right around the center. I'm going to blend it in my brush first before I bring it and try to blend it in. I don't want a splotch. If I want to add more color, I just press harder. So I have plenty on my mat here to finish the job. And we'll see. Go. A little bit in here. Okay, we're gonna call it good. Sorry, I've been like so intently concentrating that I think I stopped talking, didn't I? I'm not my usual chatty self. There we go. Oh, I like it already. This might be the one for the money. Now we have to come in and line this up. And I can tell, it's like, okay, none of them line up quite. Let's see. There we go. So I'm going to have to, this is going to be tricky. So I'm going to take some of the tape, but we're going to, I think, do one flower at a time. And we're going to come in with worn lipstick. And I don't even think I'm going to come in with the dauber. I'm going to come in with the brush. I don't even have to clean it up because it's what's on there right now is lighter. I just got to blend that color out. Just come in. And we're going to pull off from the mat there. I'm thinking maybe off camera where I have smushed it. So let's come over here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to come in. And just deepen that. So let's see. I can pick it up. I can hold with one hand. With my hand, I'm holding the stencil in place. Looks pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. Now, I'm going to come in here and line this one up. I could probably just get away with not using tape, although I want to, just for sake of safety. Let me steal one of these tapes over here. We'll put it down here, but I'm going to have to practically be moving this per flower. This is my belief, because I'm a no-talent hack. I think we've had this discussion already, have we not, people? Okay. And we're again going to come in and bring in that detail contrast. Let's see. Let's see what we've got going on here. Ooh, I like. So we're going to deepen it out a little bit more. We're going to try, even though I know more is not always better. Sometimes more is just more. But I'm liking the effect, so. Let's see. All righty. All righty. Oh no, except, guess what? I guess we are die cutting this out. I missed that. But we have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rose. So what we're going to do is we're going to emboss. No, we're going to die cut and then emboss. So there you go. We are committed. So we have changed. There's a change of plans here. Let me get, there's my other plate. Okay. So this is my cut plate. We do have a beautifully embossed. Okay, I mean, a little bit stenciling. It was difficult, and I changed directions in what I was doing, and I did myself in. And no harm, no foul. I told you guys there was going to be something. I warned you. You people know better than this. Okay, where is my envelope? There we go. We're going to grab now the die, the cutting die, and the embossing folder, because we'll be doing that as well. But now I'm a woman with a plan. So now, come here, my pretty. Oh, very nice. So now what we're going to do, give me a second, because now I am moving on to, oh, you know what, before I move to plan B. So no, I'm not moving to plan B yet. Get these, I'll pick those up off the floor. Let's emboss this puppy. So we're going to set that in here. All right, people, I got my nose to stop bleeding, so I've got this, and then I go, wait a minute. I was trying to go, wait a minute, I have to turn the camera back on. So I've got this back in here. So, excuse me, we're ready to run it through and emboss it. So let's get this baby embossed really quickly. Whee! Before I see it, it's almost like I feel like it wants to start bleeding again. I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. All right, so let's see. What do we have now? Oh, definitely we have dimension. Can you see that? I mean, you can definitely see it from the back. You see all of that dimension. Really, really pretty. So now we are going to, like I said, we're going to change direction on this because, all right, my friends, the good thing is that you cannot see me, because otherwise you would see that I'm sitting here trying to work with a tissue plugging up one of my nostrils. I'm not kidding you. I can't get my nose to stop bleeding. It's ridiculous. It just keeps wanting a little dribble. So anyway, my solution to my problem is another embossing folder. I mean, I thought about it almost immediately. And this is one of my newer spell binders. I haven't even used it yet. So yay for having the embossing folder. You know what? And really quickly, let's go ahead. Let me do this the way I would want to do it. Let's cut off the edge real quickly here so that we already have it. Woo, there we go. Move over here, and I'm going to send it back this way, fold it, and now it just goes out that way. But let me grab it. You know what? Give me a second, and let me cut down a piece of paper, my panel back down to that original size. Hold on, again. So I have now my piece of paper that's going to go on the inside of the here that I'm going to go ahead and emboss, and I'm not going to color it. I'm going to go ahead and leave it, let the texture speak. Let me mist it, because this I can mist. I couldn't mist that because I used Distress Oxides, and then the color would move. It would do, you know, the stuff it's supposed to do that I don't want it to do. Okay, this is what I needed, the gray one. I found it. So now we're going to run that through our platinum. See, guys, there are no mistakes. There are just opportunities for creativity. It's funny because this is kind of what one of the ideas I had. It was I wanted to do the card in its original intent and then do another one this way. So now we have seen the possibilities both ways. So now I have this panel nice and embossed, and we put this down here on the card. And then we're going to add that on top. Oh, I love it. I'm really happy that, you know, disaster struck, because this is really, I really love it. I really like it. So, okay, so let's get this panel adhered down. Where is my bottle of glue? Oh, it's got knocked over. I don't have very much of a workspace, man. And three things get out of place and it's like, oh, I can't move. I just don't have a lot of workspace here. Someday I will, but it won't be now. Okay, now we'll just go ahead. Whoops. Carefully put this down. I gotta be careful now because I got glue on 2 fingers. There we go. And we have, the good thing is that we have a few seconds of widget so that we can. There we go. I like it. Whoops. And it, oh no, it didn't move. It looked like it moved. No, I think it was my shadow. Or the card itself, not the panel. Okay. Now, let's go for our little flowery friend here. Let's move all of these thingamajiggers out of the way. We'll move our stencils out of the way. Now we are still, and we're still going to put down our flower in just like that at an angle. So now we're going to apply the glue. This worked out really, really, all considering. I'm not upset. My nose seems to be cooperating for the moment. And I see a little piece that I didn't see that I have to punch out. So I've got to grab my pokey tool real quick. But meanwhile, I'm just putting on. I would not normally do this with this bottle of glue, but because it's this is, again, texture, and I'm putting texture on texture, I'm being pretty happy with the glue here. Just to make sure it stays stuck. My gosh, this bottle is running out. When it runs out, I'm sad to say that we will have to dispose of that bottle. And that bottle has been with me since the start of the pandemic. That was my first bottle of Barely Art. Now we have a little piece here. Let's poke it out. I don't need the pokey tool. I can just do it with the tweezers. There we go. Okay. Now, we will just lay this down. And I think it's going to lay right where it landed. I like that. The only thing I could have done better was maybe to have used foam, but no, I like this. I'm going to leave it that way. Ooh, now all I need is a sentiment. And I think I'm going to make this a birthday card. So give me a moment to come back with an appropriate happy birthday. All right, one moment, please. Well, okay, I was only slightly unfaithful to you guys. I went ahead, not only did I pick my sentiment, but I already die cutted it out. I made 3 layers and I glued it all together in the usual puddle method. I just wanted to cut some time off of this video that has gone way too long and prone to too many mishaps. I figured, you know what, if I do it off camera, it'll go right. It's just one of those things. I'm like, and I know these are the rationalizations of a mad woman. Okay, just, I'm just throwing that out there, just so you guys know. But anyway, we're ready now to glue this sentiment down and be done with this accursed card. It's one of those things where it's like, oh my goodness. And you'll see in a minute, I'll show you. It's like, oh my gosh. But anyway, so we're still going to use the puddle method. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the puddle method, I will demo it. It'll be a little bit reversed because when I glue the layers together, I do them face down. So the bottom layer, I will go, I will dip it this way in and then glue the next one and then the next one. So, but now because I'm gluing it onto the card, we can't do that. So no, this is the only time it's reversed to my new face down method. But all I do is you saw me, I made that little puddle. I think it's hard, the glue is hard to see on this mat. So maybe I should use, put a little, cut up a glue mat or something so that you guys can see it. Because against the white mat, I know the glue is hard to see. But I've already decided that this is where it's going to go a little bit off the edge in both directions so that I can fit happy, which is probably going to overlap the flower here, my peonies. But it's this is very, very, very easy. It's the easiest way for me to get glue on something where it's very scripty like this. I don't like to scribble. It is not that hard really when you think about it. I just don't like doing it. So, I'd much rather do this and make a bigger mess. And there's my happy, and it's going to go right here. I'd already figured out where I wanted to put it. But there we go. I'm going to lay it down here. And now before I forget, I'll grab the dirty one that I just threw away. It's okay. I'm going to grab this real quickly. There we go. I just wanted to clean off that puddle before I stuck my card in it. Because y'all know, you guys, those of you who have been with me for a while know I am perfectly capable of doing that. But, there we go. There we go. There's our peony card done with the Stamps by Me Quattro D. You guys have seen the little struggles I have. I'm going to be honest with you, it didn't feel stencil didn't line up perfectly, so it made it difficult, but I realized that if I just use the original, the bottom layer of the green, the bottom layer of this, I can just do everything else with detail. Add the rest of the coloring to what I like, and I think I may do that in the future because I really do like this. I'm just not a fan of both stencils. So, but here's the thing, it opened up. It opened up my creativity and said, hey, Mayra, I can do this. So there you go. I am not disappointed. And I wanted to show you something, guys. I went ahead while I was die cutting because I'm insane. I went ahead and did the card, made it up or tried to make it up real quick. By this time, I've had a lot of practice. This was the original vision. This is what I wanted to do. So, I mean, there you have it. The embossing went off a little off the edge, but that's okay. It's the beauty of a handcrafted item. Nothing is perfect, only God. So I have that. And just so you know why I know the order of doing things is I did try to emboss first and then do the stenciling and then do the gold embossing. And this is what turned out. And it didn't work either, but it has its own beauty in being different. It was difficult, and this is before I realized, hey, I want to add the extra color. All I did was straight stencil the way the stencils had it. And then, of course, when I try to emboss the gold, it wouldn't touch all of the areas because I had already embossed the card. But I'm leaving it. I went ahead and I decided, I'm going to still use this because I like it. So there you go. We have 3 versions of this card, in all its mishappiness. And I'm good with that. So if you enjoyed this, if it made you giggle, then by all means, give me a thumbs up, drop me a note, say hi. And if you want to see more of my madness, it's there. This is no news. This is no news, all right? Then by all means, subscribe and ring that bell because I will be back with more of it. Meanwhile, I'm going to let you go. Craft, make something beautiful, okay? And don't ever forget, we're all a little mad here. So come on, craft madness with me, okay? I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye!